It is a pleasure to meet you. I have been eagerly awaiting your arrival. I am the jeweler you sent for. I must say that it is quite an honor to serve you in this matter. I have many years of experience, and I am entirely at your disposal. I know there is much you wish to go over, and I want to assure you that you have my full attention for as long as you need it. I can attend to anything you may need, without distraction. I wish for this to be a pleasant experience. I think you shall find it is far from dull. As you stated in your letter, this is a very important time for you, and I hope my expertise will be able to empower and assist you in your endeavors. Most certainly it is no less than you deserve as a member of such great nobility. Thank you for heeding my request that it only be the two of us. It will be very important that you feel comfortable assessing honestly what we will be discussing shortly. As you will quickly come to understand, it may be a topic you do not wish intruded upon. Before they left, however, your servants did bring some tea. Would you like me to pour you some? Not at all, I would love to. There you are. Now, in your letter, you mentioned you were looking for multiple pieces to hand out to your important guests at your upcoming event, correct? Very good. I would ask you to consider your relationship with each individual to influence your decision. Jewelry is meant to make a statement, not only through the types or colors of the gems, but also what sort of accessory. For example, a ring may be a sign of commitment, whereas a circlet may be a sign of influence or power. The item that you give your guests will send them a message on where they stand with you and how you value them. Much like the language of flowers, you see. Most are familiar with the idea that different flowers may represent different emotions or situations. It is much the same with jewelry. However, it is not always explicit, but because of the intimate nature of such accessories, their messages can be powerful and can be felt, even if not consciously understood. So it is best you understand how you view a person before you decide on which gift to give them. Which is why I requested that this meeting be the two of us. It is best you feel that you can reflect honestly and openly with yourself and with me on how you feel with each of your guests and how you view them compared to the various implications of different jewelries. And with that in mind, let me explain a bit more about the meaning behind various accessories. There is a long history on the language of jewelry, but I will try to condense it to the information that will be most relevant to your situation. We will first discuss the importance of type of jewelry, so we can decide on those first, and then we will discuss the importance of any jewels or designs you'd like to incorporate. Let's begin with one I already mentioned: rings. Rings represent commitment, a close bond. This one is usually fairly obvious. For many people, the only ring they will ever own is a wedding ring. And from the common folk to royalty, a wedding ring is the main symbol of a marriage commitment. While not all rings symbolize a romantic commitment, they do come with the expectation of loyalty. These should be rarely given, and they should be earned. A ring is a contract, so you would reserve this accessory only for those you trust and spend a large amount of time with, and those who you would consider to be the closest to being your equal, those who have been with you the longest, who you plan to keep around, whose advice and counsel is greatly heeded and appreciated, those you trust and perhaps have placed in positions of authority over certain aspects of your court. Because the ring is worn so prominently upon the hand, it is in a place of great power. The wearer will be reminded of their commitment to you every time they look at it. They will see you in every action they perform, a reminder of where their power and influence are coming from, a reminder that it is only through you that their hands wield such power. However, in turn, every action the wearer makes while wearing your ring becomes an endorsement from you. They are acting as your hands, and symbolically with the ring bestowed upon them, it can be as if you have done the action yourself. You accept a great deal of responsibility for the actions of the wearer, which is why you should only bestow a ring upon those you trust to act in your best interest. If you wouldn't allow them to act on your behalf, then they should not have one. A ring is second only to a crown. Moving on, the other piece I mentioned was a circlet. As I said, they can represent power or influence. There is a fine line to consider when gifting a circlet. The head is the seat of power, so to bestow a gift that sits atop it can make quite the statement. And depending on how it is given and the finer details within it, it can mean two drastically different things. One, it could mean that you respect that person, that you recognize them as having a great deal of power, which will be represented in the circlet. It is an acknowledgement of that. Two, it could mean that you are showing that you have control and influence over them, and you want them to know it, and you want other people to know it. The head is the seat of power. It is where all your thoughts and wisdom lies. To place a circlet upon it with the second meaning, you are showing you have control over those thoughts, that their mind is influenced by your ideals, and you are privy to their knowledge. It is an act of subjugating a strong mind and will that may have been opposing to your own. It can be a sign of submission on their part and a sign of influence on your own. To place a circlet upon the head with the first meaning, however, is to give them a great respect. A circlet is a prominent piece of jewelry and cannot be missed. one that showcases the wearer's power is a sign that you regard them highly, that you are saying that they should be acknowledged for their ability or their power. You endorse their position in whatever standing they are in. They have your backing, and you are not intimidated, but rather see them as a great ally. As you can no doubt see, it is a fine line to walk between those two meanings. It is important to be cautious who you give a circlet to and exactly how it is made. The design will factor greatly into the message. While it does not have to be as scarce as a ring, it is also a piece that should be heavily considered and given to only a select group of individuals. Perhaps those you have alliances with, relationships that you are keen to maintain in one way or another. Wearers would likely have influence over a group, an ambassador that mediates between you and those people. So while they are using this person as their liaison to speak to you, you will in turn be sending them a message through the choice of accessory that you present their likely chosen leader. Now let us move towards pieces that are, shall we say, safer to grant as a gift, but each with their own meanings as well that should be weighed. Let's begin with necklaces. Necklaces can be gifted to men or women, but will usually mean two different things, and are given in different styles. As in, traditionally, you would give a woman a necklace with dainty chains or jewels, whereas for men, it is more about thicker bands or chains of precious metals, or an amulet of significance. Let us begin with it as a gift for the ladies of your court first. A necklace draws attention to the neck, the collarbone, and the chest. These are considered very intimate and sensual areas of a lady. Especially with current fashions, it may be the only part of her body, besides her face and sometimes her hands, that she has chosen to display. So what goes there is very important. A lady's fashion has a convoluted yet poignant language of its own. Every piece a lady wears is done with intention, from the color of her gown to how many bows or what type of lace. And along the neck or the chest is where the boldest statement comes into play. Everything else about her fashion is usually centered around it. So if you have ladies among your court who are particularly ferocious advocates or authorities on matters that are of great value to them, getting them a piece that exemplifies that will certainly be appreciated. It says that you support their endeavors and also that you are aware of them. It will mean a great deal to them that you have paid attention to their deeds and to their advocacies. They will feel it solidifies their place of importance within the court, and in turn they will feel more loyal to it. Additionally, a necklace can be a statement of intimacy. Every time they put it on as a gift from you, it will feel as if your hands have brushed them there, and I guarantee others will get the notion as well. They will see these necklaces upon the ladies of your court, and to them there is no distinction between you and the jewelry. It will also serve to show that these women are under your protection, that they are valued and not to be trifled with. they are members of your court, and you have loudly declared your acknowledgement and appreciation of them. For men, necklaces share the meaning of your acknowledgement and protection. However, they are not used to convey such striking messages as with woman's fashion. Not that men's fashion does not have its own language, but it works a bit differently. They are typically louder, bolder, and perhaps more obnoxious, for lack of better term. Ladies can use their fashions to have complete conversations with one another, without having ever spoken a word. Men's fashions are more in compliments to the things that he has voiced, or a way to flaunt something he takes pride in. Strong bands of precious metals, or chains with a wide neck. The gentleman's accessory is more about celebrating an aspect of him, communicating pride or an achievement, rather than sending a specific message. These metals are often engraved with designs that depict their success. And for the gentlemen who perhaps are not as inclined to present themselves so loudly, amulets are quite popular. Solid circles of metal with a matching chain. The circle containing carvings or gems that are more subtle storytellers of the man's history. Much like with ladies' necklaces, it carries the same weight for your gentlemen. Every time they wear it, they will feel as though you have personally acknowledged their feats, and they are eager for everyone to know it. They will feel recognized and appreciated, and in turn it will inspire them to push harder, go further, achieve more in your honor, in hopes that you will continue to honor them in turn. One thing to be considerate of when it comes to necklaces, however, is the length of it. The longer the necklace, the more trust a person has from you. A longer leash, you might say. The shorter a necklace becomes, the tighter you express your need to hold on to them. A reminder that they have more boundaries they will need to be careful not to cross. A shorter leash. A choker is a tricky thing to gift. It can feel far more intimate than a simple necklace, as it is always pressed against the throat. But if not done properly, it can feel like a collar. Hands tightening around the neck. It must be balanced properly as to not be blatantly offensive. Even the darker, so to speak, meanings have their place. It is just important that they are implemented properly. It is the subtlety of communication within jewelry that will have a lasting potent effect. You want the wearers and those that see them to feel as though they've come to those conclusions themselves, slowly. It should sit with them a long while before they figure out why it makes them feel a certain way. And they should be left questioning themselves if they should think that at all. Next, we will discuss earrings. Fortunately, the implication of these accessories are rather straightforward, with not nearly as much nuance. However, its meaning is twofold. A gift of jewelry for the ear is a reminder that you are always listening. For the wearer, perhaps, it is a reminder that you actively listen to their inputs their concerns, that you hear them and value their words. Perhaps, for an onlooker, when they catch the distant sparkle of an earring you've gifted upon a fellow member of the court, it is a reminder that you are always listening, that you will hear everything, and they would do well to be mindful of what they say and who they say it to. It would be a very good gift for someone who you want to assure them that you are hearing them, or for someone who has a keen sense of knowing what others are saying and offer that service to you, symbolic of their gift or purpose. Oh, well, I would never use the term spy, but should it fit, this would be a compelling gift. Lastly, let's discuss the bracelets. Much like earrings, they are also a relatively simple and safe choice. The wearer will be reminded of you many times as they extend their hand, making your presence known to anyone they meet as well. A single, simple bracelet is a sign of friendship, camaraderie. It is truly the best gift to give someone when you really don't have anything specific you want to say, but just want to give them a token of appreciation. While things can get a bit more nuanced in other styles of bracelet, a simple jewel or metal bracelet is a pleasing gift. Other styles or deviated meanings could be, for instance, a heavy pair of bangles, which at first may seem like a gift of high praise because it's made with such a great amount of metal. However, on the wearer it can feel like a mighty weight. They give the impression of shackles to anyone looking on, and to the wearer who feels them with every move they make, only getting heavier as the night goes on. These are the main categories of accessories that I think will be most useful to you as you decide on what exactly you want your gifts to be. So this is the first step in the process. Take some time to consider what I've said and how you would apply it to your guests. Once you have assigned a type of accessory to each of them, we will move forward with the designs, being sure to choose patterns or stones that will embody the statements you want to make for each of them. Oh, no, I think it best that you consider this before our next meeting. This is arguably the most important step in the process. I can craft designs to fit personalities, histories, social perceptions, but I cannot craft a design based on how you feel about someone if I do not know how you feel. I don't, for example, want to give someone earrings when you would have given them a circlet of assertion, you see. Yes, indeed. I have already been shown my accommodations, and should it please you, we will meet here tomorrow at the same time. Of course, should you wish to discuss things further, or have questions, or need to reschedule, I am at your will. You have accommodated and compensated me very generously for my services, and I would make no effort to go against your wishes. It is a great honor to help you in this matter, and I will be available at all hours for you. Now, as I understand, You have another meeting to attend, and I shall not consume any more of your time. Good day to you. I look forward to our next meeting.